So I had my little 5-minute spiel about human trafficking, specifically in the oil fields. The county that I live in is kind of ground zero here in Colorado for oil and gas. And a woman came up to me afterwards and she was like, I want to hear your whole story, which I was like, in hindsight, I would never, just go with a stranger now, but lessons learned. So I went to lunch with her and told her my whole story. And she said, I'm really glad you started making better choices. That wasn't trafficking though. And I remember thinking, I think I'm going to be in therapy working through this one for a few weeks. And I was just like, I need to get out of this lunch right now. And she said, I don't understand. If you weren't chained up, why didn't you just leave?
Okay.
And at that time, I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm literally in therapy trying to figure out why, like, I wasn't chained up. So why didn't I walk out the door? I already have enough self-blame. Like, I don't need to hear it from other people. Thank you. So I made kind of an offhand comment to her. And I said, it's kind of like a cult. You get brainwashed into this belief system. And then you start to think that like, that's the reality. And so there's no need for you to leave if that's just your normal day-to-day life. And it seemed to help her in the moment. So I was like, check, please, gotta go. But I also realized people don't understand the issue of sex trafficking. They need a framework that can help at least give them, I call them shelves. Like people need shelves to put information on. And so I went home and I Googled cult characteristics, and Dr. Lalick and Dr. Langoni's 15 cult characteristics came up. And I was reading them and I was like, oh my God, I was in a cult. Like all 15 characteristics, I can tell you, examples from every single one. Right. So I did a ton of studying, but I developed a training on cultic theory and giving examples of all of the different characteristics. And that helped me heal, putting language to some of my experiences, but it also gave me the ability to go out into the community and explain things so that I was not experiencing victim blaming when I tried to tell my story. So that's really where the Avery Center started. And because I started doing all of this awareness training, I started having caseworkers and therapists and law enforcement come up to me and say, like, we have somebody who's experienced some of these things. Can I refer them to you? And I was like, I just do trainings. So in 2016, about 2 years later, I had done a ton of trainings and really gotten to know Northern Colorado and what services were here and really where the gaps were for survivors. So our first direct service program was a job training program that's in existence still today. We have over an 85% graduation rate